All right, welcome in everybody. This is a new project here by the Golfletes called The Short Game, a mini podcast series for the upcoming winter. Obviously, today we have a few of the Golfletes here. My name is Scott. We got Andrew Knox here, Brian Doss, and Jesse Kelly. It's really good to have all of us together. We don't get to talk as much as some people think, but we are here today. We're going to give you our first episode of The Short Game, our mini podcast series. So, before we really get started, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. I just want to kind of give a really brief depiction of what this is. Obviously, with the winter, it's really hard for us to create content on the golf course, even inside sometimes. So we had this idea that we wanted to be able to do something that allowed us to put content out. And no, it may not be golf content like directly like you guys probably want it, but it's something that allows us to stay connected and allows us to put some things out there. So that is what this is. We don't really know how frequent this thing is going to be, but we want to do it when we can. And tonight was a night we were able to do it. Sometimes there'll be more than 4 people on here. Sometimes there'll be less. But the thing is by the end of it, you'll get to meet all the Golfletes and get to talk to us about some topics. And we wanted to make it short. It's actually a micropod, so we shouldn't have episodes longer than 30 minutes. That way you can knock these things out when you ride to work in the morning or however long it may take you, just something that we can do for you and not take up all your time. So without further ado, let me get to the rest of the guys. If you guys just want to take some turns really quick and just tell them who you are, I'll start just to give you an example of how that might look. My name is Scott. I am a member of the Golfletes. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee area, still live in Memphis, Tennessee as of right now. And we all joined this together, I guess a year or two ago. And so once we introduce ourselves, let's just talk about some goals and just, we'll get more into like this episode. So if you guys want to take turns really quick.
Yeah. I guess I'll get it going. My name's Andrew. I'm a member of the Golfletes. I'm also from Memphis. I think we all kind of grew up in this area. We're all pretty close, old time buddies. Obviously the best member in Golfletes. I hit it the furthest, hit it the straightest. So you oftentimes find me behind the camera. Realistically, I post most on the TikTok along with Scott, and so I'm more on the video creation side.
I'll go next. My name's Brian. Like Knox said, we're all from Memphis area. I live over in Northeast Arkansas now in Jonesboro. So a little bit separated from the core group, but we all always manage to find time to either play over here or over there together. So, you'll just see me either out on the golf course catching them fat or on the driving range catching them thin.
How's everybody doing? My name is Jesse. I'm another member of the Golfletes. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee as well, just like the other guys. Ex-college baseball player turned golfer, wannabe golfer at least. So it's just cool. Scott and I actually played college baseball together, and Knox and Brian are guys that I grew up with. Knowing Knox from early high school days and Brian early elementary school days. And so it's just kind of cool that we've taken the two friend groups with, blending Scott into the group, and he's been just an awesome fit. And the guys are really welcoming. So it's just cool to see the two friend groups come together over a common cause like golf and Golfletes.
It is really interesting. And so with that, I want to move into what this episode specifically is going to be. So obviously with it being really short minded, we more than likely want to focus on one topic per episode. And we kind of agreed that this episode, the best way to start this thing off was to just talk about Golfletes in general, where this all started, where we are now, like what we want to do with this thing, and let this first episode just be sort of like an origin of Golfletes, and also just us being transparent to the followers, so the ones that do go out here and listen to this, know who we are and know what to expect from us. So I think it'd be really interesting if we could all just kind of take our time and just kind of discuss it openly, but just like what we believe, where we started. And so, like, again, I'll kind of give the example. I'll kind of start this thing here, but, we started this thing a year ago, maybe a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. It's almost hard to keep track of now, but like Jesse was saying, we were just a friend group. And, not all of us are here. We have some really vital pieces to this group that aren't here tonight, just because they got kind of busy, and we'll get into that later. But this thing, I think I can speak for everybody. This thing has grown more than what any of us ever expected it to. And so we have a really unique opportunity with what we're doing. But let me just start, and I'll let you guys kind of go off on this tangent. But I think like the whole reason we started this thing was to just grow the game of golf, and just to, we thought we were pretty funny, to be honest. I'll just put that out there and be frank about it. We thought we were funny. And, I don't think anybody disagrees with that, but I think that was the whole reason why we were like, hey, we're all pretty funny together. We all have this one common thing that we like, and it's golf. So why don't we just put it out there? And so that's my take on like where this all began. And obviously there's a lot more details we can go into, but I'll try to let you guys hit on that. But what did you guys think of like starting this? Like, what were your thoughts going into this?
Yeah, I guess I'll start. Going into it, man, it's less about making videos, but more about, all six of us getting out and playing golf together, or however many it is now. It might even be seven of us. But it was just a way, we were all getting together, always playing golf. All of us were just engulfed in the game. And this became a way for us to come together and, put our heads into it. We're always talking golf in the group chat, talking golf on the course, going and playing golf, whether it was two of us or all of us. And so it kind of just became this idea that we're all kind of like, well, let's put our minds to this and see where it goes.
And so I want to kick this to Jesse, because I think this is a good segue. I think it really begins with a really important event in Jesse's timeline in this whole thing. And I don't know if he knows what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about, obviously. Jesse, do you know what I'm thinking of a big event that was just, had a lot to do with you that kind of really kicked this thing off?
Was it joining Somerville Country Club?
No. Okay. For time's sake, I'll ruin it. I think where this really kicked off and where I want to hand this off to you was your bachelor party.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's where really, the two groups merged, introducing Scott to the guys. We went on my bachelor trip. I guess that was two years ago in March. And it was actually the weekend before everything shut down for COVID. So, we were fortunate enough to go and be on that trip, and we weren't limited, in our activities and stuff. Well, obviously we were still safe, but that was kind of before everything just kind of went haywire. But that was a good time for us to merge the friend groups. And, we're all ex-athletes. We're all super competitive. And the common ground that we found in golf, where we could kind of needle each other a little bit, talk some smack, and still have a good time out on the course. I mean, it's just nothing better. And I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to do all this stuff with.
Yeah, and I mean that was just so unique of an opportunity, because that was my first time meeting, everybody that's in this Zoom other than Jesse. First time meeting Brian and Knox, but it was also meeting, my first time meeting Brandon, Brian's brother, and meeting Tal, who Tal reluctantly was able to be there in the first place. Wasn't even really supposed to be there. And, my first time meeting a lot of the guys. So, one thing we talk about is our goals all the time, what we want to get out of this. And so, like Brian, you haven't really gotten a chance to speak up yet. Like when you knew that this was coming and we started really talking about it, like what was something that you really wanted to get out of it? Maybe that just, you thought it was a unique opportunity.
Man, that's kind of a loaded question. I would say, to sum it up, some things I was looking to get out of Golfletes were, to echo what Knox said, wanted to spend more quality time as a group of guys. And golf is a great opportunity to do that just in general. And, it also allows us to be able to, travel different places and experience, new towns and all that stuff you see on TV. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up watching golf on Sundays after church.
Yeah.
So, you never know. You might be able to get the chance to go play one of those kind of courses or go play in one of those towns and, kind of relive those childhood memories.
Yeah.
So, I'd
Yeah,
say that was definitely one of the goals, among many though.
Yeah.
it's been really fun, and I think we've accomplished a lot of things already. And I'll speak on behalf of somebody that's not here, but we talked about all these different things that really started this, and it was so many things that went into this. But one of the biggest things was, Tal, one of our really good buddies who's not here tonight, had such a strong presence in social media already, but on the baseball side of things. And Jesse's talked about his experience and my experience in baseball. And, Tal had ended up growing a social media page that had a huge following. And I think none of us really, necessarily knew what we were doing as far as social media was concerned. But I think Tal was a really big part of it too, because, I think to be fair, we got a lot of his followers, that were also interested in golf as well as baseball on our side. And so that was a big trick and a big battle too. Um, but, like I said, I don't really want to ramble on, but, one topic that I definitely wanted to get to is, other than just where we all started, was like, what advice would you give to people out there who may want to do the same thing, and maybe get a group together that they know and like start a page? What would each of you kind of say to them as just things you want to do and things you don't want to forget,
I would just
maybe goals?
I would just say put yourself out there. We're very fortunate. We talk about this all the time amongst our friend group, how fortunate we are to have this core group of guys that we talk, literally every day. It might be a couple texts here and there, but we talk every day. And most of the time it's about golf. So I would just say, put yourself out there, like get you a starter set of clubs. If you're looking to just get into the game, that's the goal of all of this, is just to try and grow the game, grow each other, grow as golfers. So just put yourself out there, get you a set, get you one or two good buddies and hit the course, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think one thing that's huge is like have a game plan. Don't go into it blind. Like it's very easy to get sidetracked and have all these great ideas and have all these things you want to accomplish, and you go 6 directions and end up taking steps backwards. Like have a plan. Like make your plan. Start the page, post 2 times a week, and just run with it. Stick with that plan, write it out, see where it goes. And as you grow and as you have more opportunities to do different things, adjust your plan to fit your following, your goals. It's like for us, like I mean, we post every single day on TikTok, and we're trying to get more consistent with Instagram, just having an idea of like, okay, this is the time we post on TikTok. Let's try to come up with an idea, or let's have a few ideas set in place. That way when it comes time to post, we're not scrambling or forgot something. Consistency beats all else on social media.
That's good, Knox. I would say, for me to like another group, not saying that we're some big famous group of dudes, but, um, I would say to a group of guys wanting to start out, don't lose sight of as Jesse said, the growth. The whole purpose is growth. And, golf is a progression thing. So it doesn't matter where you start out. If you got, brand new tailor-made clubs, or like our buddy Tal, started out with a nice set of top flights, and
Oh yeah.
he'll hit it further than the rest of us would. So, just it's a progression. Enjoy where you're at in that process, and look forward to what's to come, and just grow as a golfer, and grow with your buddies while you're doing it. So that's what I say.
So on that note, I think I would like to wrap up with this. We wanted to keep this one super short, but you talk about, having an idea of what's to come. And I think it'd be great if we finish up by telling people, we've talked about where we came from and who we are. We talked about, how we did this thing. And I think it'd be really fun if we kind of took just a quick second to talk about like where we think we're going. I think, to be fair, like we all probably have different opinions, but we all, like we've mentioned already, this is a collective thing. We do this together, and we treat it like a business on most occasions. And sometimes we joke about it and keep it light, but a lot of times we do it. We're at the point now where we're pretty serious about it. So if you guys wouldn't mind, like, tell me one thing that, that you would want to see out of this thing? And then maybe also like throw some things in there that you know is coming up, you think it's huge for us. And, like to get it started, like Brian, your brother Brandon had a great idea of, getting a tournament for us, just for the Golfletes guys and kind of making that an annual thing. Like, could you talk about that?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think as far as getting um, you know, content as a group, as a whole, all together, a tournament where everybody's able to be there would obviously be a really good avenue to get that kind of material. Um, and creates a competitive environment. Like Jesse said, we're all athletes, we're all competitors. We want to win. We definitely
Mm-hmm.
studies. So, it just creates a fun environment, and it gives us an opportunity to film a little bit, learn a little bit more about the game, dive into all those things, and play some golf. So,
Yep. And then, Jesse has mentioned he's with a country club that is really generous and really welcoming to the public. We have some things planned as far as that goes, just at that specific location. Like Jesse, if you could throw some things out there that we have coming up that are just kind of group related, like that'd be great too.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really turned into like an annual thing. Got the big invitational tournament in August where and the scores are flighted. It's been cool to have just about every guy in the golf leagues play in the invitational at least once, if not twice. I think we've got a couple that were flight winners each year, so it's
Yeah.
cool that every year we've had some flight winners and stuff, whether that be the third or the sixth. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. And then we also got a 2-man scramble coming up in June. That's going to be a really good time where I think just about every Golf Leagues member is going to be playing in it with another Golf Leagues member. So it just provides a good opportunity for us to get out there. It's a small town country club that we've all grown to love and appreciate. And it's not the nicest country club in the world, but it's, it'll definitely test you and make you, grow your game and appreciate the game. And, there's some big things coming and, stuff that we'll be promoting for sure.
And so, yeah, man, I mean, we have, stuff that's open to the public that you guys will all be a part of. And then Brian has talked about some stuff that just involves us. Knox, can you just wrap us up really quickly about just some stuff on the content side, more individual that we have planned that, the followers can expect to see?
Yeah, I think in the coming days you'll start to see a little bit more on the quality side of the content. I know we're going to start putting some more time into making it more than just iPhone videos. We're looking into making some challenges and some like 3-hole matches, golf leads versus golf leads. I mean, we're still going to keep up with our typical unpopular opinions, some things to spark controversy, things to spark discussion, because I think that's what we like to do the most is engage the community. Like, I want to hear what the people that follow us have to say. Like, it's awesome to go film ourselves playing golf, but it's also cool to be like, will Ricky win a major this year? I kind of want to hear what y'all have to say and interact with the community that way. So just look out for, some more golf related things as it warms up. We'll do some matches, do some challenges, have a lot more play a hole with me type things, but also I think we're going to try to stick onto community engagement and like sparking golf debates.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, I'm really excited about it. I know we all are, and I think that'll wrap it up for this episode. I wanted this to be super short to the point, but just kind of give the followers an idea of who we are and what we, look forward to coming. And, if they wanted to be maybe like us, which would be great, then they know how to do it now. So I think this has been a great episode, man. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. And, I'll go ahead and sign off here and say, we'll see you guys next time. Don't really know when that's going to be, but it should be soon. We really enjoyed it. So I appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
absolutely.
Peace.